Till now, we discussed about various aspects of design, especially most of the scientists, architects, they believe that design is there in the nature. Even there are many artificial designs are there, but how it comes? People, they are watching the variations in the nature. People, they want to adopt the situations. People, they want to go for advancements. People, they want to move from one age to the next one. Say example, from the Stone Age to the next age. So everywhere there is a technology, there are improvements. Even I told there are a lot of blame on the nature about human beings, how they are taking care about the nature. There are numerous questions are there, whether natural things were protected or most of the natural green areas were destroyed, right? So that is the main thing we need to check. That's why in the previous session itself I told the technology is good, improvements in the technology is also very good, but at the same time we should assure there is no distractions from in the nature, right? That is very important, right? So today we are going to discuss about the logical thinking. That means there is a difference to adopt the new advancements given by various technologies or the engineering principles. That is how we can implement such things so that the nature will not be affected, but at the same time the technology and the improvement should be there. Yes, that is very important. We need to address in this particular session. Let us see. So some important aspects we've seen in the previous session about the logical thinking. That is, today's session we are going to discuss about, that is how we can implement such things, right? Because before implementation, we need to have a very good logical thinking aspects so that it will be easy to implement, right, any such variations from the existing, right? So that we are going to discuss in this particular session. So there are many things in the nature. I'm not going to show all those things, but what exactly we are getting from the nature that we are going to discuss today. So everything is there in the nature. The human, they can decide basically from the nature, right? That was given here. So let us see. So many places it will be there, right? So especially while doing this type of designs, the scientist normally says it is in your blood. The advancements, the new design, the variations of the technology, all those things are with you. You don't want to find these things from outside. It is already inside. It is already placed. Right? So that is very, very important that you need to know about. That's why I told the starting session itself. These particular subjects, you don't want to go through different books, different titles. No, very good book actually. Uh, there are some differences. Do you know? I'll tell you. I'll give you one case study so that you can easily understand. Normally, most of the people in the world they use their right hand to write. Am I right? They are using their right hand for doing most of the things, especially writing. Uh, uh, have you find any persons using left hand to write? Do you know, or any of you are writing by using left hand? Can I have the response from you? Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Sonal
Yes, sir.
Kumar,
I see.
no. Whether I am asking whether you are writing by using left hand. Anyone?
No, no,
No, sir.
no, sir. I'm writing right hand, but I see left hand written.
Yeah,
I
people
think
those who are
another person.
doing with the left hand. Yes, good. Others, what about Ajay,
Sir, I
Sajin?
saw left hand,
Yeah, you seen. Good. So
but
you people, yeah, yeah. Tell me.
I'm right hand right.
Oh, you are right hand. You are using right hand. Yes, good. So most of the people, even I am also using right hand to do all those things. All right, but very few people, you can say 5 to 10%, they're using a left hand to do the things. Why? Because from the childhood onwards, they practiced. Therefore, they are using the left hand. Sometimes some people, by using right hand, it will be some problem for them. Therefore, they are using the left hand. They practiced from the childhood onwards. You know, the world actually, in the world, if you are seeing that whatever exists, it will be for those who are using right hands. If you are opening the door, you can see that is very easy to open by using a right hand. Left hand means instead of using this, you have to go around a different thing. Right? If you are following by using left hands. I think you can imagine, right? While you are closing or opening the door, just to see one example, I'll tell you. In front of the refrigerator, right? If you are using right hand, how it will be? If you are opening, right? So you will be that means your vision will be inside. Just imagine if it is left hand means how they will be. The hand will be crossed actually. Am I right? While opening. Are you able to understand my points?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So it will be easy for the right handers. For the left hand, it is not much easy. Why? Because it was prepared, it was manufactured for the right hands. Right? So now the question is, if it should be universal, the same refrigerator I am giving you, see, you are a design engineers who are there at the manufacturing units. I am telling it should have this same significance if the left hand users are using this refrigerator. Can we able to modify it? Right? I can't do that. I can't do. There is some refrigerator only for left hand users, and there is a refrigerator only for right hand users. Then that will be a difficult thing. Right? Therefore, means instead of you are having the lock at the left hand side, if you are keeping the lock at the right hand side, it will be easy for the left handers. Right? Therefore, the cross hand it will not come. But what about the right handers? It will be difficult for them. Right? Just imagine the same refrigerator. I hope all our houses are having the refrigerator. Just to imagine the holder, no, that is the handle for the refrigerator. It will be at the opposite side. Just to imagine, it will be difficult for you to open. right? But it will be easy for the left-hand users. Now I am asking you, just imagine you are sitting at the manufacturing unit, right? So while they are designing these refrigerators, especially the refrigerator doors and all. So I'm giving a task to you, like you have to prepare, you have to manufacture, or you have to design the doors such that the constraint is it should be same significant what the right hand users are having for the left hand users also. So how can you do? Can you imagine? Can you tell me how we can modify the doors? This is one example I'm giving. How we can do?
Sir, in the center, we can fix the handle, sir.
Very good. If you are fixing the handle at the center, then instead of a single door, normally we are having refrigerators with a single door, two doors, three doors, right? And all those things you can see one at the top, one at the middle, one at the bottom, like that. That means a bigger refrigerator, I am telling. Otherwise, normally most of the houses having two doors refrigerator, one at the bottom and one at the top. Otherwise, a single door, right? So it will be there. Now, as we told, if I'm keeping the handle, that means the locking structure at the middle, then instead of one door, I need two. Am I right? So it will be splitted. It should be closed at the middle so that both the end I can open. Am I right? You can fix it. You can do it. But at the same time, another constraints they will say that the cooling effect, the refrigerator, so other the cooling effect in the refrigerators and other supporting things, whether it will be getting affected or not. So that also you need to see. So while we are going for the user-friendly approach, right? I hope you can able to understand. So while you are going behind the user-friendly approach, that means instead of you are keeping the handle at the left-hand side, if you are keeping at the right-hand side, it will be difficult. You rightly pointed out it should be at the center. So if it is at the center, it will be good for both. So people, the left-handers, they can use that one, that side. Right-handers, they can use this side. Right? I hope you can understand. Right? So the door, instead of a single door, it will be splitted into two. The one side they can do it, and the side this can do it. But now we need to see the efficiency. We need to see the economy, whether it will be cost effective or not. That is important thing we need to take care. Right, if you're telling the refrigerator normally it will be 20,000 or 25,000, and now if you are fixing this type of doors and you're telling it is 50,000, nobody will buy. So instead of 25,000, I need to give 50,000 because these doors are there, because these things are much beautiful, it is user friendly. Nobody will turn on to buy. I'm telling about the customers. So what you have to do means you have to take care about the economy, right? The cost effective things there. So that is also important, need to be addressed, right? While we are doing any type of the designs. Let us see, that's what I'm telling about the illogical thinking. Right, so something I told about the experimentation in the previous session that also we are going to discuss. So what are the important points in the experimentation? The first thing is there are many theory behind, many principles there, many laws there. So how to prove the law? How to check whether the law holds good in these particular situations? The only thing is you need to do experimentation. Am I right? If you're telling Kirchhoff's law is correct, that is voltage is directly proportional to current at a constant temperature, how will you believe? After doing some experimentation, that if you are getting the right results and it holds good with the theory, then we can say that yes, that is good. That is the proof you are having. right? Therefore, if you want to do some modifications, the first thing is you have to do the experimentation. So while doing experimentation, you know that at which place you will get the maximum efficiency, right? Whether if you're going for a different types of alloy, for example, I'm talking about the metal alloys. Just imagine about a normal cup. It will be made up of aluminum, or it will be made up of silver, or it will be made up of any other material. So nowadays, normally people are using different types of materials, because aluminum means what happen. Do you know the if it is not much thickness, then it will be easily damaged. And if it is like a copper, then it will be very strong, then it will be costly. Then it will be a steel, again it will be strong, but whether it is a stainless steel or ordinary things, whether it will get corroded, so that things we need to take care. So at some situation there will be a combined effects. We can see the maximum efficiency in those areas. Means we're adding some iron, you're adding some aluminum, you're adding some other alloy materials. I think you may know about alloys, so you might be studied in chemistry. So different types of the metals were added. So at which proportion it is giving the maximum strength? How we can observe? We can observe only through experimentation, right? And similarly, experimentation, it leads various new ideas and also new uh, innovations, right? So these are the important things that we need to address while we are doing this experimentation. Can you give me some examples, especially about the experimentation? See, I'm telling the experimentation may leads to new ideas and innovations. Experimentation will trace out some errors. It will have a very good product. It will be having an improved product. Can you tell me some examples? Can I have some response from your side about experimentation? I hope you did many experiments from the schoolings, from the lower level to the higher level. Still, you are going to do many experiments there in engineering, right? Can you tell me some insights of experiments which leads new ideas and innovations? Any one experiment you tell me that may trace out errors, or it may improve the products, or it may use new ideas, or it may use some new innovations. Anyone. I'm not telling all the combinations should be there in the experiments. So any such experiments you can take, and can you tell me you can identify the errors while doing that particular experiment? Yes, can I have some answers from your end? So it is not a one-way communication. But can I have some response from your side?
Sir, potentiometer.
Yeah, potentiometer is an experiment. I know that. I am asking, what are the possible errors you can trace by using that experiments, or how whether it is used to improve some products, or it is used to uh, get some new ideas. Anything is there in the potentiometer? It will be there. Can you tell me something in potentiometer? Tell whatever you like. It is nothing wrong.
Explanation, sir. Yes,
Yes, Sonukumar?
yes, sir. Cathode ray tube experiment, sir.
No, I didn't get you.
In the most cases,
I think your voice got break.
excuse, sir. Can you hear me, sir?
Yes, Sonu, tell me.
Yes, I'm telling you, it's cathode ray experimentation, sir.
Which
Experiment.
experimentation? Ma? Actually, the name I didn't get. Yeah.
Cathode rays.
Hmm? Recorders.
Cathode, cathode rays, sir. Cathode.
Mm,
Sir, he's telling the cathode rays experiment, sir.
what is that? CRO, cathode ray experiments. Okay, okay. That's why I couldn't get properly. Sorry. Yes, cathode ray experiments. Yeah, that is also a good experiment. Actually, it's made some good improvements in many of the products, and it is having some innovative ideas. So, can you tell me some idea you got it from these cathode ray experiments? Anybody? Yes.
Electron cathode to anode, sir.
Oh, the movements. Yes, movements of these charged particles. Yeah.
It, cathode to anode, sir.
Yeah, understood. So that is the new idea. You got it while doing this experiment. The movement of ions, the movement of charges from one place to another. Yes, you are giving some examples. Good. So like that, many things are there. Even potentiometers, while you are setting the variations, especially the potential differences, if you are measuring. Right. So depends upon the elements. Depends upon which type of material you are using. That is how the potential varies. Depends upon the length, how it varies. Right, using these results, we can make a new model. Right, these are like if you are telling the potentiometer, if you are telling CRO, these materials, these type of things where the concepts were used in the instruments, right, to measure many important things, especially other things also, right? Many other experiments you can see. If you are coming to the electrical engineering, if you're doing experiments in the machines lab, so you might be knowing about while while modifying a new machine. So what are the requirements we need? Right? So already machines are available. So while doing the experiments, you know that. So if you want to make the machine bigger, or if you want to make the strength of the material bigger, so what exactly we need to do from our side? So while doing the experiment, you might be knowing, right? Say example. So the HP of the machine is 2.5, right? Now the customer is asking, I need a 5 HP machine. So immediately you can't double all the parameters there in the machine. That is not correct. If you're telling the gauge, it will be previously 1,000, now you make it as a 2,000. Or previously the winding, it is circulated for this many meters, and now you can, for example, 50 meters, and now you go for 100 meter. You can't say like that. You know, it is not simply doubled. If you're doubling this HP horsepower, means it is not simply doubled all the parameters inside, right? But what we can do means, while doing the experiments, we will get some values. By using the values, we can analyze and we can come to the conclusion, while changing these particular parameters are enough to change the horsepower of the machine from 2.5 to 5 HP. Right? So these are the examples that we can get it by experimentation. So I hope you are doing many experimentation. The next thing is the logical thinking I told. So while that is what the example I given as a refrigerator. So as some of you told, you can put the opening at the middle, that is a fridge, like you are having opening for bureaus, right? Bureau normally you are having two doors will be there. So like that you will be having you can design for a fridge. So say example in the house there are two members, or in the left hand another two members, or the right hand users. So it will be very easy for both all the four people there in the house, right? Otherwise it was a design for the right handers, but it should be cost effective, right? And then only people can buy. Such things and such logical thinking and the judgment you are able to make it. So that is the important thing there, right? So simply if you are telling I am making for the user friendly approach, it is not gives the solution. Simply if you are telling that is I will make it much stronger, it will not be a solution. You know, all are the inputs, right? Where you are able to incorporate all the inputs inside, that is the important thing, right? So otherwise you can't come to the right judgment, right? And even though the materials, even though everything will be look good, but we will not place it in the market. That is very important. Now it is a competitive value. Just you can take one example as a mobile phone, because you people are using mobile phones, who are oriented with the mobile phones most of the time. Right. So what are the constraints you like? You may have a very good camera. You may have a very good accessibility of internet. Whether it will be supporting for games, whether it will be supporting for video calling, whether it is supporting for the audio calling, how it will be, whether it is getting heated, and how much time it will hold the, how much duration it will hold the charge. Right, if you are using 24 hours internet connections there with Wi-Fi or some other, whether it will not be damaged, right? How much time the charge will be there, and if you are carrying the mobile phone placed on another, say some 100 kilometers or 500 kilometers you are traveling, whether it is capable to store the charge, or you need the extra devices to recharge. Right, Richard Nelson's I'm telling about the battery backups. So all those constraints you will check. Am I right? But while checking all those constraints, if somebody is telling yes, all those things I'm giving as per your wish, but the amount is more than 1 lakh, then who will buy? Right? Therefore, that is the logical thinking and the judgment. So you may do all those things as per the users, but whether the users are capable to buy, just you can think that whether the users, for example, if it is a 4G or 5G mobile phones, whether the end users they will spend for more than 1 lakh for that. That we need to think. And if I am able to sell some 100 pieces, it's coming with 1 lakh or 1.5 lakhs. It is not a benefit for me, right? So if I am manufacturing this type of mobile phones, then what will be the outcome for me, especially from the manufacturer's point of view? Every month there will be 10,000, 50,000 mobile phones are selling, then only it will be a profit. Otherwise, it is not at all the profit for the manufacturers, right? They are telling everything is good, the price is very high, nobody will buy. Nowadays, the people, they are looking, because why they are not spending much money means people also, they will be thinking logically. They will think how many years I will use this one. So if it is a 4G, then immediately the next 5G comes, whether the 4G will be obsolete or we can't use it. So they may have all those things in the mind. So they won't spend much, right? Because it will be keep on changing. The technologies keep on changing. Previously, I know that 10 years before, only 2Gs are there. There is a 3G also not there. So people are using 2G and they are having 2G handsets, etc. And next it will be a 3G. And most of the people, they bought 3G mobile phones, and all the accessories for 3Gs, etc. But now you can see that nowhere people are using 3Gs, right? Even 3G mobile phones, other things are there. You won't get the right signals for the 3Gs. So everything, the bandwidth, they change it for 4G now, especially in our country. So the developing country is also having this many drastic changes. Just imagine about the developed countries. So even the growth will be much more, right? So it won't be controlled. So these are the main aspects we need to think while we are going for the competitive markets. All right, that's why I'm telling about the logical thinking and the judgment are very very essential. All right. So these are the important things about the logical thinking and judgment. Let us move to the next one. That is also important. Organizing results. So you may have a different thinking to design a new product or modifying an existing product. Right. So whether my principles will support means there are many principles from the science. So there are many laws, especially from the science, engineering, and technology. If I am applying all those things to the current research or whatever the product I am going to do, whether my concepts or the theoretical laws and the principles will support. Alright, I am not telling 100% it should support. If it is supporting, already it was there, means we can execute because already it is supporting the principles. Or you are deriving a new one, it will be an innovation actually. So the previous principles were not supported, and you are making your own principles. In your name, there will be a law. In your name, there will be a principle will be there. So that much innovations we can get it while we are thinking, while we are putting the results accordingly, right? So the mapping requirements, these principles, then analyzing the results. So while doing a new design or the modifications, very important thing is the results should be analyzed before going to the end users. If they are manufacturing a new car, the safety aspects. What they do means, first of all, they will heat that much fast, and they will check how the people will be inside. So the safety certification is very very essential, especially in the automobile sectors. So all those results should be incorporated inside, and it will be submitted to the government, and it will be submitted to the safety agencies to get the certification before releasing of the cars in the market. Right? But somebody is getting all those things through bribes, then who will be getting all those damages? Means the end users. Then what will be the reputation of that industry? That's all. Nobody will buy. If people are telling this particular car I'm using and it is not at all good and it is getting this much sound, a small particle, if it is hitting on a small thing, the whole damages will be there and it will be thrown as a scrap. If somebody is giving a feedback like that, nobody will buy such type of the products, right? Therefore, to analyze all those results before going to the end users is very, very important. That's why I'm telling about the organizing results under different principles. So anyway, already the principles are there, then the laws are there, everything is there. Okay, good. Now I were establishing, but at the same time, I have to check the results whether it will hold good or not, right? Otherwise you go for the remodifications, right? And the next thing is the application of principles. I think we know about any design, most of the design, there will be a integration, there will be a combination of science, technology, engineering, and arts. So whether the perfection is there from all the areas or only at the end of the art, the beautification, the perfection is there. Because nowadays people are concentrating on that in the design aspects. The perfection is not there from the science, perfection is not there from the technology and engineering. To cover all those things, they want to do something very attractive on the outside so that it will attract the customers. So what happened? It will attract the customers. Customers will buy definitely, right? But don't think all the customers will buy. Some customers they will wait for the review of the customers who bought these things first. So immediately after the reviews, right, if it is not holds good, since the perfection is not there in the engineering, technology and science, only at the arts, then people will not buy. Right? Therefore, see the optimization, that means the perfection should be there in every place, especially from the science, from the engineering, from the technology. So whatever the concepts you are using in that particular product, definitely there should be a perfection. If it is not so, then the system won't be there in the markets. Right? That is very important thing. All right. So we can see the rest of the things in the next class, right? So if you are having any doubts, you can ask me. Yes, I need to go. Okay, ma, that's all from my end about the application of principles. So today's session we discussed about three important things. One is the design. It will be from the nature, right? It will be there with all their bloods. You can think. And another important thing is the experimentation. We seen what are the insights from the experimentation we got it. And the next thing is the logical thinking and judgment. So I given good examples. I hope you can understand. And the final thing is organizing the results. Not this is the final thing. One more thing I think we discussed the organizing the results, whatever we are thinking, and the application of principles. Right. I hope you understood all those things. Right. Since it is very generalized and you can easily understand. Right. So hope it will be okay. Otherwise, if you are having any doubts, you can ask me. If you don't have any doubts, you can leave the session. But thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.